Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy. If you do enjoy my content, definitely consider like, subscribe, share, all the things. I have Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, etc. YouTube is throttling content, so if you do enjoy my channel, definitely hit the thumbs up and share and comment, all the things. Now, I just watched the Star Trek Discovery short trek called Ask Not. Star Trek Discovery is a show that, well, I'm a huge Star Trek fan, full disclosure. Huge Star Trek fan, probably more even than Star Wars, probably more than most shows and things I talk about on YouTube. And I have been reviewing Star Trek Discovery since I was a gaming channel, and I switched over because Star Trek Discovery was that bad of a thing. Oh my god, it was that bad. I just had to complain. I mean,
I like science.
For example, they've turned my beloved precious Star Trek into Big Bang Theory memes, etc., etc. And I don't say this lightly when I say that Star Trek Discovery has been the absolute worst characters, from know-it-all Mary Sues who tell off their captains because they know better to get revenge on those nasty Klingorks. That between that continuity, like, this is a screen accurate Michael Burnham. You know, it's got 0 points of articulation and expressions just like she does. It has gone from this meme,
I like science,
to this most insulting white man bad stereotype show out there. And I don't say this lightly when I say that Ask Not was the best Star Trek Discovery I've ever seen. It was absolutely the best one. Let me qualify that. The best one of crap is still crap, all right? So you got a few things right. Let's talk about what they got right. What they got right, I like Captain Pike. I really, really do. I like Anson Mount's Captain Pike. He's a really good actor. He's strong. He makes me feel like I'm watching a Star Trek episode, like a captain. This felt like a Star Trek episode. This didn't feel like...
I like science.
No. It felt like Star Trek again. Except for a few major things. Like, okay, the actress is really good. She was pretty decent, too. The premise is you've got a cadet at a starbase. First off, that's a big problem. She's a cadet. Why is she working in a starbase? Why isn't she at Starfleet Academy? See, here we go. This is where it fails immediately at being Star Trek again. Oh, but I appreciate the sentiment that at least they're acknowledging and understand some of the things they did wrong with this precious, isn't she sweet, being, you know, the know-it-all bratty little girl that she absolutely is, you know, calling Daddy Sarek. Yes, she's Spock's sister, don't ask how. Yes, this Spock.
I like science.
So she's Spock's sister, but that's the main show. We're talking about the side show here. And that's what it is. It's a circus sideshow. So this cadet, they bring in a prisoner to this cadet on a starbase. Oh, lo and behold, it's Captain Pike. And he's trying to convince her to go against her command, to go and take revenge, basically, on the Tholians. Apparently, her and her husband were the last two survivors of a Tholian attack. And then they got separated out. He's on one ship. The Tholians are supposedly attacking that ship he's on. Pike wants to take her and go and get revenge. And she's like, no, I can't do that. Great premise. It's a great premise. And it makes a lot of sense. But it's the Kobayashi Maru again. It's this little unwinnable... You're just testing somebody. This is all stuff that they do in Starfleet Academy. Not on the job after they're trained adult people. And this is one of the problems with Star Trek Discovery, is aimed for that teenage bratty girl demographic that...
I just see people.
That just really wants everything their way. You know, they never had to work for anything. They throw a temper tantrum. They tell their parents how to raise them. That is who kind of Star Trek Discovery is for. The people who attack William Shatner on Twitter. That is who really, really respond well to Discovery. You know, the okay boomer, you're just no white dude. That sort of crowd. So the fact that and I think that's why every character that they have just comes out of they're cadets. They're not even finished going through training, right? So that's one of the problems with the show. And you know, they at least acknowledge that, okay, that's, you gotta have some sort of training and pass some psyche evals. That has been one of the biggest complaints about the series, is that nobody seems like they've had any training, passed any psych evals, know what the crap they're doing, know anything about a military starship sort of thing. Because these are supposed to be Navy ships in space, and that's what Star Trek Discovery and Starfleet is supposed to be. So they got that little aspect right, and of course then they congratulate her by welcoming her onto the Enterprise for an unpaid internship, etc., where she can play with, you know, Number One and Spock.
I like science.
Yeah, we know Spock. You sound like a broken record. Okay, so that, yeah, like I said, it is the best episode of Star Trek Discovery. It's also one of the shortest. It's a 7-minute long little filler episode. And these little short treks are kind of designed to keep people subscribing to CBS All Access. While there's no Star Trek, because there's really nothing else on the platform, right, on the streaming service. Well, the other problem, okay, some of the major problems with this episode. This still feels like Big Bang Theory Star Trek. It still feels like we're just getting a bunch of verbal diarrhea jibber jabber. I don't like a lot of jibber jabber and words. This is just quoting regulations back and forth like the Big Bang Theory type of speech would be doing. They would shout out a regulation, and then she would come back at him with a, yes, but in this case you can't do that, and, you know, oh yes, but if you do this, yes, but then that's a loophole, and I don't do loopholes, and it's all this regulation jibber jabber, and it's exhausting to listen to that much dialogue, right? And I get it, they have a lot of stuff to cram into a small amount of time, but it is kind of an exhausting endeavor. And that is one of the biggest problems with this, is it's still so much Big Bang Theory Star Trek. And, you know, it's the best one. It's about a 7 out of 10, in my opinion. If they had started on this, I probably wouldn't have so many complaints about Discovery. You still have some continuity issues, but they're all things that they could tweak. You know, we could have actual Star Trek characters in Star Trek for a change instead of...
I like science.
Yeah, instead of Big Bang Theory Spock, but 7 out of 10, and yeah, they're still not that great. I still wouldn't recommend it unless, you know, you just want something in one ear and out the other, because that's what would happen. They would do jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber, and then boom, you know, big explosion or something. Like, that's not a good explosion sound, but, you know, it's a good enough one considering I don't have really anything on my soundboard handy, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Mecha Random 42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.